Got you back out here with me today. Got a nice day in the middle of winter here. Snow's melted, what little we had, and got a rare warm day today. Time to work on Project Snow Beast. This is a multi-part video. It may not make sense if you just watch this one. Playlist number 1, of course, was the first one, Project Snow Beast. And I'll just give a brief description. It's a large garden tractor. It's got 4-way hydraulics for the front. Well, two functions, hydraulic lift. It's got a hydrostatic rear end. Kawaski twin-cylinder engine, which is 22 horsepower. Fuel injected. Shaft drive for the transmission and implements, whether you go with a front-mounted snowblower like this one does have, or the deck that is also shaft-driven. This one here is something I bought many years ago and have now decided to get it running and working. Just in case you're not interested in watching the whole series, this one started as a rust bucket. The tins were completely rusted through. The floorboards were literally missing. So I've got some new pans for both. This one has a perfectly solid, that's just dirt there, perfectly solid seat and floor pans. I've got some new rims. We got all kinds of stuff. We got the new hood here in the box still to replace the one that this one, somebody put a sign over it. Well, when I took that off, I realized I should have just looked underneath. It's got a giant hole in it. So, no good for a machine that sits outside. Water would get right through that and potentially mess up something on your engine eventually. What I'm going to try for today is, I've got these really rusty rims. I don't even think they're worth trying to fix. That one's already got a tube in it. This one, I think that also has a tube in it. So those things have been rusted for many years. I just don't think there's the strength there that you're going to need for something with the quick hitch hanging off the front and the whole snowblower and everything. I think these might work on a regular grass cutter if you clean them up, but maybe there's not enough meat there left anyway. I don't know how thick they are still, but doesn't matter because I have bought some replacements. These ones are in good condition. Only problem is, as you can see, there's 2 different type of treads, and I don't like it. First of all, this one is blocky, square like I like it, and this one is more rounded. It doesn't matter. It'll roll, but I like it to look right. And also, okay, so in here we have what might be a larger tire. I'll get the sizes for you in a minute, but a matched pair. So that's the way I like them. And those are also the ones that match the back. They're the little S pattern or whatever you want to call them. That's a good looking tire to me. So let's see what size these are. 18 by 8.5 by 8. To me, the ones here look bigger. 18 by 8.5. Well, it says the same, but I don't know why, but they appear bigger here. Just a different tread. These ones are multi-track. And this one is a Turf Master. This one is a Soft Track RS. Okay, change of plans even for me. These ones, which I thought were in great shape, really aren't. If we look carefully, there's a lot of dry cracking on these. And they're semi-hardened. That happens from the sun. So because of that, and the other one, I found some other issues. Where was that? I mean, anywhere you look, there's just little check marks and stuff. Like under the C and E there. These are not nearly as fresh and pliable as I thought. So I think I'm going to reconsider. I'm going to just leave those mounted as is. But I'm going to dismount these and I'm going to buy a set of new tires. If I can find those Carlisles, I really like that. This is a Carlisle Turfmaster. If I can find those Carlisles, I'm going to do that. This kind of S-shaped tread. At least I'll have the fronts matching. Yeah, I was going to try to get those on, but as hard as they are, and they're already in rough shape, so they probably won't hold air without a tube. That's not what I want to do if I'm going to take the time and labor to dismount and remount 1, 2, 3, 4 tires. So yeah, plan B. And again, even these ones, there's cracks on them, so you might get away with it, but I want a matched pair to put on this thing, so that's where we're going with that. So I guess I can dismount these, get that prepped, and then I'll order the new tires. There's a whole bunch of parts coming for this. The hydraulic line that we found to be leaking, and a couple of O-rings, and I've got a new reverse pedal assembly coming that's actually got a metal rod on it, which is an improver kit. The original one wasn't so ergonomic to use. The way you have to push on it is quite strange, and somebody made a better one that works better, let's put it that way. And it's metal, so that's cool. I guess let's leave these ones on the tractor for now, and I'll just dismount these and get them prepped and ready. These tires could be used for something, but I'm just a little sheepish on using ones that are dry rotted and mismatched and everything else, when I could have a brand new pair, which is more reliable. All right, I got you set up there with my mini tire changer. This one was a Harbor Freight, but I'll leave a link in the description of something similar, I'm sure. This threads onto the valve core and helps you pull them out. You don't have to have the tool. Oh, excuse me. What I was using there, this is for a valve stem puller tool. This one ended up breaking because I ended up grabbing it with the pliers, but that can help you get those out. And this time it didn't work. The other part is still stuck in there, but we'll get that out regardless. I can pull it through either way. What that tool is really for is putting them back in. I'm going to probably end up just pulling that back through backwards. The object here is make sure there's no air in your tire when you go to dismount it. Ah, yes. Nice. And not quite enough thread. Wow. Tighten that up a little bit. Okay. Now we're making some progress. That does not want to let go. Why? Because those tires don't have a dropped rim on them. Or drop center. A lot of times they curve in a lot. This one does not. That might be a little difficult to get off. Yeah, that's going to be a challenge, huh? Let me get a big screwdriver to help me get started and a pair of vice grips. Oh yeah, this is going to be a challenge. I'm going to tell you right now. Usually these rims have a loop in them, so you can, once you get the tire down, you can move it off center and get a good edge. This rim does not have that feature. It's just like straight down from the bead. And here's a little whammy we'll probably try to hammer out if we can remember. That is interesting. Does the other side have any drop feature on it? I don't think so. Yes, it does. See how this steps in? It doesn't just go boop, straight down. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen. All right, so what you usually do is push it and then grab it from the other side. Get it off center. There's our stem. I guess I'll just start it with this tool. Whew. These are unusually wide. I guess maybe I'll flip it over. Shouldn't have to. No, that won't help me. Can I just do this without the tool? Probably not easy, huh? Let me get it reset, bring it back. Okay, if I can get this center point to come up higher, then I can hit it from this angle. And I know I can only get a couple threads, but is that enough threads? It is just enough. Okay, we're winning. That is one stiff tire. Whew. Guess I could put some tire mounting lube on there. That's close. Okay, I think we got it. I just got to get it unstuck from the center point. Nice. Whew. Okay, just imagine for yourself that times two. If I didn't explain what I was talking about well enough, here's the drop center part. Here's the part where you can drop the tire down, over, and then grab this end on the far side. This part here won't allow you to do that. So this tire can only come off from the top, from the front. Okay, I'm on the second tire now. And again, dry cracks. But if anybody wondered how bad the dry cracks were, there's actually grass that somebody, rolled over probably when it was low on air. And the grass is embedded into the crack. So yeah, those are gone. It's a good thing we're replacing them. Okay, we got the tire off, and I'll order those someday when it's not nice outside, inside where I can order. What I want to do today is additional issues is where this goes through that bracket, it's stuck. This is the forward pedal, by the way, that you would hit with your foot. It is just torquing that bracket. So I've got to get this bracket to break loose of that rod. So what usually works is just working it back and forth, a bunch of penetrating oil, and let's see what we can get here. Give it a little shock. It's not going to come easy, is it? Let's see, activating would be forward. Wow. Try to put some force on it with my foot. I hear something, but that's over here that's moving. Oh, it is breaking loose a little bit. Oh, good. Yep. Most of that noise is probably the spring that returns it. Okay, we're in much better shape already. Let's just flush out some of that potential rust with my half-frozen bottle of penetrating oil. Much better. Good, good. This one I think was okay, which was the reverse pedal one. I don't think that one was stuck. No, that's turning. And then we'll go to the other side. Okay, over here on the other side. Now this is the differential lock. If you press on this, if you let's say went down in a ditch, or you're somehow one wheel on the rear end was driving and the other one wasn't, you could hit this and they'll both drive. It'll lock the rear differential. Now the parts from there back move fine, but we could see that it's absolutely seized as it goes into here, so it's just torquing this bracket. So let's see if we can get this one to come loose same way we did the other one. There's a little plastic bushing there and a plastic bushing here. So it's not metal on metal. Boy, that metal's thin. Oh man, wow. I think I said in the last video, I plan on replacing this little dog leg part. That's actually part of the frame, but I want to put a new, maybe if I can't get it freed up enough, I know this thing's just going to break clean off. So it has just become one piece. The rust, as it rusts, it called rust jacking. It will expand. So whatever gap was in between the rod and the bracket is gone. It moved a little bit within the bracket. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit, but it's not having it. It'll move. It's not happy about it, but it'll move. And that spring that is supposed to return it, you probably saw it, I didn't, but it is whittled down to a point, and as expected, does not return the pedal. Sure. Oh yeah, we're getting stuff freed up. Okay, yeah, I'm okay with that. It's not perfect, but it does return now to the off position by itself. So if I get this strengthened up just with a little L bracket welded on, I would feel okay with that, because this is just going to hold the floor pan, and the floor pan actually, as I bolt it through, will help strengthen this. This here is whittled down fairly thin, but there's not a lot of weight on a floor pan. I might get away with it, but I'm going to have to replace this spring. So what that means is, to replace this spring, I'm going to have to take this rod off the tractor, because there would be no way to get the spring over that shaft. So I might as well just get used to the fact that this rod is coming out anyway to get that spring on. So, okay, we'll plan for that. Okay, differential lock assembly. Looks like it goes in there, and then there's a hitch clip on the inside. How I'm going to ever get, it's one of these kind of clips. You can bet it's rusty, I'm sure. How I'm going to get you to film in there, I don't know. But it's at the tip of my finger. Let me remove it and it'll focus. That's the clip. So there's no way I'm going to be able to film down in there. But I'm going to get that pin out, and we'll see if we can drive that rod out that way. Looks like there's a block that it's into. It goes into a block that goes into a rod that goes to the back. That block, you put the pin into the block, clip in. That's how she's held in there. So as long as I could get that pin out, we should be able to drive it out backwards, or maybe even pull it from the other side. Let's see if that works. I got you a better shot. Here is the clip. Here is that block that it's into. I'm calling it a block, but it's more of a lever. So as long as I could get that pin out, that rod, which I assume is keyed just from the pin going through it, should come out relatively easy. Can't get you the shot because I'm literally up against the ground here. So bring you back when I get it. Good progress. I got the pin out, and I hit the center, which is the bar we want to take out with the ball peen hammer, and it did move a little bit. So I'm going to get it from the other side now and try to pull. Okay, again, that's the clip I took out. It has moved some. Actually, this part here is starting to bend out, so I'm going to have to, yeah, see, this metal here is all expanded, so it won't even fit coming back out. So let's do this. Let's break off some of that rust. Yeah. See, now this thing works perfectly. Yes. Nice. Yeah, here's those little plastic, what do you call those? Bushings? Yeah, bushings that go through there. They're gone because the rust had smashed it so bad. See the different diameters on this thing? Nice. One more part that's not seized. Gone. The next thing I'm going to do is I got that drive shaft. It's been hanging since I took that off. Now, because I got the front part off of it, I can slide the shaft back, take off the bracket that it goes through, the bearing holder, and then I could clean up the shaft and the PTO side of that thing while I'm not crawling around on the ground. There we go. Cool. And then here's the front bracket bearing holder that mounted to the frame. Now I just want to inspect this shaft a little bit. Now those are greasable. Oh, that's nice. Okay, yeah, minimum rust here. That collar still works very smoothly. Just clean that up a little bit. Okay, this isn't the kind that slips in and out. That's good. So I'll just clean this off a little bit, and then the most part is I have to clean this, wire wheel that to get the splines cleaned up again so the coupler can grab it. Front coupler, which also needs work, but one thing at a time. This actually had a hair of grease on it, which may have saved it. Keeps the corrosion away because the corrosion can't get right on it. Almost hate to wipe that off, but I'll put something else back on it later. Oh yeah, that's not in bad shape at all, like I thought it was. Just using a flap wheel, just sandpaper layered up on angle. Not quite a grinding wheel, not quite a sanding wheel, and better than a wire brush because it'll take off the high spots. Nothing wrong here. Inside there, I'm going to try to get a little wire brush and get those splines cleaned up a little bit. This wire brush here is a little bit big for that purpose. Just like any job, there's more than one right way, but you could get a brush with the ones that hang off the top here and cut that so you only have this part, or you can cut these off with a wire wheel or something and only have that part, whatever. Just figure out a way to get something in there to clean those up a little bit. I'm just using these front ones, and it's getting in there pretty far. I don't feel the need to have to take that off to modify my brush, but these are just cheap brushes, so we wouldn't lose much. The other thing I brought just in case is these little carburetor cleaning brushes. You get those in those kits. Welding tip torch cleaners. I call them carburetor brushes because that's what I use them for. And they're just these little tiny bristles hanging off there. And every once in a while, That's the only thing that can get in there. Now, they're not heavy duty. They'll just bend if you really lean on them, but good enough. That's looking clean. Now I've got the brush, or the bearing bracket. The front of the drive shaft goes through this, and this just keeps it supported. So you can attach a front attachment to it. And this bearing is actually in beautiful shape. That's actually where the grease came from, now that I think about it, from those on those splines. Now it's starting to make sense. Let's just give this a little bit of de-rusting, a little cleanup. And this, I think, can float a little bit left and right. I'm going to see if I can free that up. I may be asking for more trouble than it's worth, but it looks to be on a little bit of an angle. And if it's supposed to be not on an angle, it's not going to be happy. The bearings are going to be forced a little bit. Oh yeah, it moves. Okay. That's all I wanted to know. I didn't want that bearing to be flexing against that pipe, that shaft the whole time. That'll just wear the balls out real quick. Okay, it's able to float. And I'm sure once it heats up, it'll get much more pliable. So I can reinstall that shaft, reinstall this bearing bracket. That's a couple pieces going back on, so that's a good feeling. All right, let's get that shaft under there. Now the only thing I got to do is start with it from the back, up through the hole in the front axle, and I'll let it hang out there until I mount the front bearing bracket. This bearing bracket mounts to two holes. The bolts go through here, so that bracket will be hanging sideways, and that bolt is not broken. I just got it real loose. And then, of course, it'll be through the drive shaft to be through it at the point that I mount it. All right, so I got that well out front of where it needs to be. Let's see if this wants to go on easy or the hard way. And I did get a little dirt in there. I think we all know the answer. Oh, easy way. Okay. And you know what? I remember. I think I already polished this up when we were trying to remove it. That's why that thing's not in such bad a shape as I was expecting. Get you over here. Can you see? Yes. Try to get everything lined up here with the bracket. Nice. One is. Nope, fell back out. Up, down, left, right. What do you need? Man. Well, maybe I will put the back drive shaft in. I was going to wait and put the bracket last, but it seems like the bracket, the drive shaft is springing this thing down. Let me see if I can get this back one hooked up. Oh, I didn't clean the back one yet. I'll do that and I'll bring it back. Okay, I had to put the back drive shaft on first. It kept jamming in the front bracket. Every time the bracket got on a little angle, I couldn't pull it back. So I guess put the shaft in the PTO, lock the back one in first, and then I'm going to try to pull this forward or back to match up these holes. It's kind of funny because as soon as you get it on an angle, it stops moving in relationship to the shaft. You're pushing that bracket in and out. Very difficult to find those holes. There it is. All of a sudden it just lines up and goes. How can one be there but not the other? Is it just the angle? I guess you got a little play on that bracket. Maybe I shouldn't have straightened out that bearing earlier. Maybe that bracket's got to go just a little bit one way or the other on the shaft. Well, I guess I'll take this one out and try to get the top one first then. Yeah, see it goes. But now the bottom one's not there. So yeah, that must be, well, sure it would be on a little bit of an angle because the shaft probably isn't running straight. There it is. On mine, the bottom of the bracket had to be pushed back. Yep, there it comes. I should have just left that offset right where it was sitting. Sweet. Okay, so just to give you a little recap, we got all the levers and everything that I know is stuck, unstuck now. I think we're on a road to putting things back. So, being that I have one, and it'll help protect this thing from the rain if my tarp blows off, I'm going to now replace the hood with one that's more weather tight. I think I said earlier, this sign somebody put on there, and then I took that off to see what was going on. Well, I could have just looked under here and noticed there's a giant hole in there. So if my tarp was to blow off, any water that would be right on the engine and stuff, so we don't want that. And I don't really need that sign up on the hood there, so let's see what it takes to replace a hood. Shouldn't be too terrible, I don't think. Standard tools, basic hand tools. Some of these kits that I saw, because I did buy an aftermarket one, come with the sticker, the new sticker, that white sticker you see here. And I don't feel the need. There we go. Looks like those are adjustable. They have slots. So we will just guess, and then if it doesn't close right, we will make our adjustments. Unboxing video. I don't know why people like unboxing videos. I don't understand it myself. But if you say that's your thing, you just enjoy. Now this box has been out in the weather, so it's not going to give up easy because it's looped into the hood part. Ooh, it came with the soundproofing stuff already on there. The anti-vibration stuff. That's kind of cool. All right, good. It's not broken. I was kind of worried because I didn't open the box for several months and my return privileges have expired. So that's good. Cool. Stuff lines up. All right. I already lost the carriage bolt that came out of that. Here it is. Put those under there first, I guess. And these, I'm just going to aim for the center. You got some room, you know, up, down. How far off could it be? If you don't have good trigger control, don't use a 1/2 inch impact on those. You will regret it. Cool. Got the hood coming. How did that fit in there exactly? Like that? Nope. It was in this one. Was that below or above? It was here. Yep. Hole, bolt, hole. Really? That easy? Could it be? Nope. Why is this one hitting here and this one is not? It's crooked. Were these different left and right? Yeah, that one was above, wasn't it? Interesting. One goes on the top side, one goes on the bottom side. So this side, hole, bolt, bar, bar, bolt, hole. Is that right? Darn right it is. Look at that. Oh, but it got a gap here. Why is that? Is that not all the way down? Or is this just what you get with an aftermarket hood? Look at that, folks. There's a little gap right here. I don't think that gap would have been original. It would have surely come to there, wouldn't it? No way of telling, really. This one's pretty straight across. Yeah, I think this one has more arch to it. Well, that's what you're going to get if you buy an aftermarket, right there. Just as a long shot, there's these little clips that are holding this in. I'm going to try, and half these are broken. Well, maybe not half, but some of these old ones are broken. Somebody's glued this with hot glue. Anyway, I'm going to take just this piece. Oh, more hot glue. and just see how that fits. If it's this piece that's wrong, maybe I can just use this old one even with the broken clips. I just want to see something. Yeah, see that much more. Okay, the question is though, will this fit the hood? It fits down here very well, I believe. But will it fit there? And just while I was playing, I found out another thing. I found this piece down here. This is the pin that aligns this. That's supposed to be up in this groove, I think. Obviously, mine's been broken off, but however that would go. So I'll have to order those too to properly put the hood back on. I just happened to find that piece. Just for the sake of trying, I'm going to move that back that 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch or whatever I have in the adjustment here. Whatever the adjustment will provide. Can't quite get that one. Tool swap. Now I'm going to pull the hood up to the full length, full amount of its travel. Oh, that one's already stripped. Actually, except for the headlights, if the headlights will forgive us, that almost closed that up. What I'm worried about is this thing sitting out in the weather and the weather getting into that. When it gets here, it sheds off, I guess. But that looks like a bad idea. And that'll just about cover it once I get those clips to hold this down properly, those pieces I was showing you that go on the hood. That'll just about cover it. Yeah, that's what it needed. And this will be clipped in different. Oh, yeah, that's how. Okay, that's how you should do it. Adjust yours all the way back if it doesn't cover here, I guess. And I'm going to put the new piece on here because this has got way too many clips broken. Look at that. This is a little bit different. I got it all clipped in there fully. And I mean, maybe those pins will draw this down a little, but yeah, I have more gap than with the original one. Maybe that'll all draw down when I get those pins holding this. The pins that are right about here, I think. It goes down and locks. Maybe if it was down and locked, it'll stay like with a little gap there instead of, yeah, it'll probably hold it. Okay, I'll assume that's going to work. Let's call that done. Yeah, that's just me second guessing everything because if you get aftermarket parts, they're not made perfect, but you start second guessing everything. Most likely, once I get those clips that I didn't know I needed, that'll seal just fine. Draw that hood down, put it right where it needs to be. One last thing, just to show the whole job of a hood swap. Again, I'm not changing the sticker. I'm sure if you were savvy, you could heat that up and get it off. But these are, I only have the one here, but I believe this is the bracket. And the thing, yeah. Oh, I just dropped it. But anyway, you need that little screw. I don't have the one on the other side, but you need a little screw, and that's going to hold those little pins in that align the hood as you close it. So I'm going to show you what I did for choosing a tire. Carlisle is the brand I like. I've had good luck with them. Now, if you're just reselling a machine or whatever, you just put on whatever the cheapest tire you can find, and there are some plenty cheap ones out there. The problem with a lot of them is as they ship them, they squish them, and they're really hard to get back on the rim once they squish them, and they're like that for a while, sitting in some box or some shipping box. I'm going to go down here to, now this is not the exact one I want, but you would look under Carlisle, Turf Saver, Lawn and Garden, Bias Tires. That's not the one I chose. But the one I did choose is, well, we go by size. 18 by 8.50-8. And that's the one that's needed for the tractor that I have. So I found several options. Turfmaster 4-ply, Multi-Track CS 8-ply, Turf Track RS 4-ply, and a Turf Saver 2-ply. Now, this is a garden tractor, so I don't think the 2-ply is good. So I already went with the only the top 3 you're seeing there. And I looked up on Amazon and eBay and everybody else, all the usual suspects. You can even find them sometimes at Home Depot and places like that if you have a certain size that they might carry. Anyway, like this one was like Amazon prices, $78 each, $94 each, $74 each, $67. So there's, quite a variation. The one I chose for my project, just because I have the quick hitch in the front and the snowblower cantilevering out several feet in front of me. There's a lot of weight on the front tires of this. So in order for them to roll good and turn good, I think I want, like I said, I think I want the 4-ply, but I ended up selecting the 8-ply. Now, plies are the amount of layers put on the tire. This one actually happens to have a 1,220 pound weight rating. So no amount of overloading or side loading or front loading or even things poking into the side of the tire, the sidewall. It's going to be a tougher tire for a few dollars extra. I actually found them on eBay, $178 plus tax for the pair. Fair enough. They're on the way. So we got a pair of Carlisle tires on the way. I'm going to end this video here, and I'll see you on the next one. More content to come. Thanks for watching.